What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. Today it's all about vascularity and whether or not there are things that you can do to improve yours. You see, first and foremost, vascularity is something that makes your muscles look more muscular. The more vascular you are, the more you look ripped, the more you look like you're committed to what you're doing. I will tell you this though, commitment is key. And if you're not willing to get your nutrition in check, the rest of this video is irrelevant. And I don't want to chase viewers away. I just want to underscore the importance of the fact that nutrition is going to get your body fat levels down low enough to be able to see your vascularity, because there's only so much you can do to try to bring them up when they're buried underneath a layer of fat. That being said, in the summer, do you ever notice how your veins look a little bit more prominent? And maybe in the winter you can't see them as much? It's not necessarily that you've added a lot of body fat, it's that just basically the exterior conditions, the temperature around you, can have your veins either seek the surface or bury deep within. And that's because as you get really cold, your veins are going to try to keep the blood flow closer to the core to be able to keep your tissue temperature up. And will sink down a little bit lower in order to do that. In the summer, as you get really hot, overheated, they'll try to get rid of some of that heat for you and rise towards the surface. So tissue temperature and changing in tissue temperature is a really important way to getting better vascularity. That being said, you can actually train that element. And if you do it consistently, you actually can help to improve the ability of your muscles to become more vascular, because you can improve the responsiveness of the smooth muscle in your veins to become a lot more alert. I have something called Raynaud's disease, which actually gives me spasms in the capillaries that feed my hand, so that my hands, even in the summer, can be purple and cold because they're spasms and they're not really good at opening up. By going into something called a contrast bath, I could dip my hands into cold, and then dip my hands into hot, and then dip my hands into cold. I'm training the smooth muscle here to respond better to dilate and constrict, dilate and constrict, dilate and constrict. So over time, I'm getting better blood flow and perfusion back and forth. I actually can help to treat that scenario a little bit. We can do that in our training too. You have to train super high reps at some point in your training in order to increase your ability of your muscles to become fed more easily by the increased blood flow that comes from doing it. So high reps we know will increase blood flow, we know will increase pump, but are you doing it as a regular component to your training? If not, here's what you want to do. What you're going to do is you're going to do this circuit here. 100 curls, we're going to have just the bar, 100 reverse curls, 100 spin outs and roll outs with our wrists in one direction and 100 roll outs in the other direction. What you do is you just keep alternating as you go. Hey, by the way, take note of what I look like now in terms of vascularity and about a few minutes from now as I go. Here we go. There you have it. A little bit more vascular there in just that one session. So the idea is, just like all four legs of a table being important for the stability of that table, all rep ranges and all components of training are important for a well-rounded training program. If you're missing an element, if you're not doing super high reps, we have all of our athletes actually come in and do this at least once every 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, we also have the ability to then get into the contrast baths, hot and cold, to also improve this. The idea is you can't just ignore it. If you want it to happen, you've got to train for it. At ATHLEAN-X, I try to train you for everything, And this sort of would answer your question, but remember, I'll restate it again. If you're not willing to get your nutrition in check, you're not gonna see your veins no matter what you do. All right, guys, if you're looking for training programs that don't overlook anything, and in fact, not even nutrition, because we know how important it is, exactly the exact same thing that allows me to stay lean and ripped 365 days a year is in our ATHLEAN-X training system. It's our ATHLEAN-X Factor meal plan. You can get that as well as all of our training techniques in one spot. It's over at ATHLEAN-X.com. In the meantime, if you found this video helpful, make sure to leave your comments and thumbs up below and let me know what you want to see here on this channel, and I'll do my best to cover it here in the days and weeks ahead. All right, guys, I'll see you back here soon.